I love baseball cards. Got 'em, need 'em, got 'em, need 'em, need 'em, got 'em, got 'em, need 'em.
Welcome to another episode of Remember the Great Sports Pickups videos. So, I went to the card shop the other day, my LCS, and my intention was to go in there and buy a 5,000 count box for storage purposes. So, just an empty 5,000 count box. Well, I started looking around the shop and I asked the owner, hey, how much does a 5,000 count box cost? And they're like, well, it's $8.99 or something like that. Well, I started looking around, and they were actually selling 5,000 count boxes with cards in them. And I'm like, well, for $1 more or $2 more, I can just have the cards. So this is what struck my eye on this box, and I'm going to zoom out so you can see this. This box was labeled Oddball. And I'm all about being odd, so I grabbed this box for $10. So $10 sight unseen. I mean, I leafed through it a little bit at the shop, but it was sight unseen, $10. So what do we have in this mystery gem, this 5,000 count box? Now, as you can see, the box is not 100% full, but it is just got some oddball, odds and ends stuff in it. And the reason I grabbed the box, this was the 100% sold price, was this right here, this section right here, is all Senior League Baseball cards. And as many of you know, I use these for my TTM videos, and I get tons of these signed through the mail almost on a weekly basis. Whenever I do a baseball video, you usually see one of these in that video. So this alone in itself was worth $10 to me. Everything else here is just an added bonus. So let's take a look at this box, and I have a surprise for you. This is just the first of two boxes. So I'm going to actually have two videos with two boxes that I paid $10 each for. Again, they weren't full. And when I brought them home, my wife was like, I thought you were buying supplies. And I said, yeah, I kind of bought the 5,000 count box, but she's like, the cards are in them already. That defeats the whole purpose. And I said, well, I have places where I can sort these. And she's like, okay, we'll see. So let's just see really quick what we got in this box. I'm going to leaf through this. I'm not going to make this video super long, because if I went through every card here, I'm just going to bore you guys. So I'm just going to hit the highlights. Obviously, if I see something that's worth something, I'll put it in a penny sleeve and go to town. I'm not expecting to find anything worth a whole lot of money in this. It was $10. But like I said, for through the mails, this whole section right here is definitely worth it, because these are all Senior League cards. I mean, that's probably 300 or so Senior League cards, give or take, maybe 200 to 300. So let's start with this. This is our divider, and we have a Desert Storm pack here, still sealed, whoop-de-doo. So we'll use that as our divider, and we'll just kind of go through this. So looks like a random Rocketeer card. There we go. Pretty gal there, that's for sure. Wonder if she'd sign through the mail. There's the Rocketeer himself. So some Rocketeer cards. Ah, these are good. Look at that. A Joe Torre game card. I mean, that right there is vintage. Sorry, I had a brief phone call there. So we got the Joe Torre there. And these are kind of unique. These are 1974 team checklists with facsimile autographs on each one. And let's just see how many are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So there's 21 of the 26 teams here. And I know I have some more of these in my collection. But if you're just saying these are $1 a piece, that's $21 right there. If these sold for $1 each. And I mean, that's pretty awesome right off the bat there. So here are some, there's a random World Series hero. Here's some of those upper deck baseball cards, you know, celebrating the history of baseball. Not a lot here. For signability, there's an old AAGBPL card. Couple presidents. Here we go. So one of the other things that I've done on this channel in the past is I've done autographs from Olympians. So this is quite a stack of Olympic cards, and it looks like all the way from here to here are all the Hall of Fame Olympic Impel cards. You know, it's got the hockey team on there with the Ruzioni. But some of these people are still around and still do sign. A lot have passed away, though, unfortunately. But I just saw Scott Hamilton there. He still signs. Ralph Boston, rest in peace, my friend. He just recently passed away. So those are here. I mean, this is just the first row. And then we have another stack of the Olympic. Oh, what do we got here? John Burke. Can't say I know who that is. So here's the other Olympic hopeful set, I guess you would call it. Yeah, Olympic hopefuls from 1992. And this has a lot of them in there. I'm wondering if the basketball ones are in there. I don't see the basketball ones. There's a Sports Illustrated Kids card. I think I saw a few more of those in there. And there's some world-class athlete cards from Classic. So again, you know, these aren't major finds, and these are all U.S. Olympic cards all the way through back here. Now, yeah, there's the other Classic world-class athletes set. There's another Anita Knoll. I wonder if she signs. I'm looking at it. There's a Sports Illustrated Kids card. So it doesn't look like the basketball players are there. There's Carl Lewis. There's a big one. Track and field. I actually got him to sign through the mail once for me. Here's some sports heroes. Roland Gardner. Hope I'm saying that right. And I know what these are without looking. Yep. These are Jackie Joyner-Kersee cards. Perhaps the greatest female track athlete of all time. And these are the McDonald's cards, like the Michael Jordan McDonald's cards. There's Michael Johnson. There's more Jackie Joyner-Kersee. More Jackie Joyner-Kersee. There is, here's some modern Olympic athlete hopefuls. I don't know these individuals, unfortunately. I do know Bruce Jenner, though. So that's that row. Not bad. Alright, so we'll go on to this next one. Kind of didn't use my divider like I thought I was going to, but not a bad find on the Joe Torre here, that's for sure. So this first part, these are pretty simple, it looks like, and they're all sleeved for some reason. But these are Wizard of Oz cards. So I'm not a big Wizard of Oz fan, but definitely if you are, you know, these are cool. There's some Simpsons cards. There's a baseball card. So there's baseball cards in here, other than the Joe Torre. So if you're interested in the Wizard of Oz cards, you know, give me a holler. I'd be more than happy to send them to you if you're interested for a fair trade or price. So looks like we got some mascots here, Splash and Rowley Shark. Myrtle Beach Pelicans and, both Myrtle Beach Pelicans mascots. So how can you not have some 1980s A-Team cards? I mean, of course. It's the A-Team. And there's some Rocky 2 cards. And let's not forget Alf. We got some Alf in there. It's like a Sports Illustrated Kids card. And no non-sports would be complete without the Desert Storm cards from the 90s. Here we go with some umpire cards, which some of these guys do sign if they're still around. There's an 8A GBL card. Random Allen and Ginter fish would be the best way I could put that. There's a couple trees. Looks like some announcers from the MLB network. So those are baseball related. Carlos Pena, of course. And these look like some Topps Heritage flashback cards. There's some comic ball. You got to have that from the junk wax era. So what these are Missouri Sports Hall of Fame cards, which I don't see anybody really big here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know any of these. So, and it looks like we got a round of golf. So some golf cards. So again, shoved down here at the bottom under the golf cards. Oh, there's a UFC card. So I do have one UFC card now. But shoved down here at the bottom is scratch-offs. So the 1980 scratch-off game cards. And these recently were released, and I don't remember what those were. One of those heritage sets had cards very similar to these. So who do we got here? Davey Lopes, Tony Perez, Hall of Famer, Jim Palmer, Hall of Famer, and Al Oliver should be Hall of Famer. And I know nothing about coins, but here's a Lincoln Kennedy penny, I guess. I can tell you it's at least worth a penny. Or 49 cents whenever they sold it. So that's that stuff. I don't know much about that. Maybe a viewer of mine that collects coins can tell me about that penny a little bit more. If that's worth anything. It's worth a penny, right? So we'll go to the third row here. This is just a mix of stuff. This John Kennedy. So John F. Kennedy cards. Woodworker cards. That's a first. Umpire, Bart Giamatti. Oh, there's a couple of Topps Black Gold chase cards. Bunch of heritage umpires. A lot of umpire cards in this row. Ah, there's a Vernon Law. That's a Vernon Law Japanese baseball card. So that's pretty cool to find that in here. That was not expected. More umpires. So I definitely have increased my umpire collection. So I'm going to have to sort through these and see what umpires I can write. There are some AAGBPL cards. Bart Giamatti, former commissioner of baseball. Now we're getting into the Donruss Americana stuff. A few more umpires. Here's some scratch-off lineup cards. I'm not really sure what those are. They're similar to the scratch-offs. There's President Bush, Dick Enberg, another black gold redemption. If you got President Bush, you got to have President Clinton. Some Branson cards. Some serial killer cards, apparently. Americana. Here's some president cards. Guitar Heroes. Dog. Okay. Yes! Marv Albert. Keith Jackson. Jay-Z. There you go. Oh, two Jay-Z's. There's some more Olympic cards, some Sports Illustrated Kids, lots of Sports Illustrated Kids. You know, these aren't the popular sports. I mean, these are soccer and track and field and gymnastics and such. And can't forget the iconic Marvel superheroes cards. In this case, the villains. More Desert Storm. And there's some Superstar music cards. Apparently some horses. More Sports Illustrated Kids. There's a Boris Becker card. Not really sure what this is. Baseball Wit. Looks like the Hall of Fame. Look like some trivia cards or something. So, never saw those before. More presidents. So if you guys are presidential card collectors, I could probably hook you up. Or weird Animal Planet cards. There's Empire State Building, you know, that needs a card, I guess. Some more Sports Illustrated. Alien, there we go. There's some old school Alien cards. That's pretty sweet. Wow. The original Alien. So, a little more soccer. There's a Chris Evert. Oh, of course, Star Trek. You can't have, that's kind of like Desert Storm cards. You can't go without having Star Trek cards too. Some more Wizard of Oz. I'm going to put those together so they're at least separated together. Superman cards. Ned Beatty. Oh man, that would have been nice to send to him through the mail before he passed away. Sorry, I had a camera malfunction there. My battery died, but here's some Gremlins cards. That might be Gremlins 2, if memory serves me right. So we got Gremlins. More soccer. That's a random umpire card again. Looks like some soccer. MSL. And more Star Trek. There's Wesley Crusher himself. And I'm not a big Star Trek fan, so if you are a Star Trek fan and you know that I collect TTM autos, definitely leave a comment below, and that's for any of these. And here's some Allen and Ginters randomly. But what I was saying, if you see somebody that does sign through the mail that I go over, definitely say something. Couple more Bill Clintons, or just one Bill Clinton, but we got Hillary Clinton as well. And there's some jockey cards, it looks like. Some more horses. I know one of the viewers to my channel that I subscribe to, he collects a lot of jockey autographs, and there's some more of those Baseball Wit cards. More jockeys. Garth Brooks, there you go. I'm going to pull that one out and put a sleeve on it. You don't always see a Garth Brooks card every day. So, a couple more Sports Illustrated Kids, some more jockeys. Looks like a mascot. Baseball commissioners, more umpires. Looks like some Desert Storm cards, some Guitar Heroes. Another President Clinton. Yep, another President Clinton. If I ever see former President Clinton in person, I'm going to be set. Baseball commissioner. That'd be nice to have those signed by the former president. He actually came to my college when I was in grad school, when Hillary was running for presidency. He was doing the tour with her and actually came to my college, and a classmate of mine who happened to be a university police officer got to work on the detail. So I thought that was pretty neat. That was after I did my law enforcement thing. But anyways, here's the big, wow. So Frank Gifford, Howard Cosell, and Don Meredith. That's awesome. Put that to the side too and sleeve her up. But there's some more. There's a Mia Hamm. Is that a rookie? I wonder. Age 20. I bet that's a Mia Hamm rookie. There's more umpires. Hey, look at this. I think these are original. Maybe not. This doesn't look right. It's like laminated or something. I thought these were, I think that's, yeah, there's something going on with that card. That might be an original though. Yeah, I think this Ford Frick might be an original. It's beat up, but what the heck, you know? I'm not really sure about the Billy Evans. There's something wrong. I think it's a reprint or there's something going on with this. It's like laminated or something. Some more baseball wit. More umpires. Ah, Coca-Cola cards, of course. Gotta have some Coke cards from the 90s. There's some political cards. I'm gonna skip right over those. Home Alone 2, there we go. I know Joe Pesci used to sign through the mail. I don't know if he still does or not. Hope there's some more Bart Giamatti's. If anybody wants a Bart Giamatti card, let me know. Be happy to donate it, just with a self-addressed stamped envelope. There's a Ford Frick. Okay, what are the odds of having two of those in here? I don't know if those are originals or not. And it looks like here's a stack of racing NASCAR cards. So, Tony Stewart, Jimmy Johnson, Mark Martin. I mean, these are some pretty big names, and Michael Waltrip, Jarrett. I've gotten a lot of these guys through the mail before, actually. Dale Jr. I mean, that's a good. I got him in person. I'll have to tell that story sometime. Tony Stewart, Waltrip, Ricky Rudd. So you get the idea. NASCAR. So I'm going to fly through these next two rows really fast because I just don't want to make this video too long. It's already kind of gotten longer than I thought it'd be, but that's what happens when you go through a 5,000 count box, I guess. Alright, we'll set these to the side. Put the racing cards back. And we will get into here. All right, we got some PBA cards. We're covering all the sports here, guys. So you remember the great sports. Try not to leave out any sports on my channel. Here are those simple Allen and Ginter / Polar Bear mini cards that I just absolutely hate because they're small. They're, you know, made to look like old cigarette cards, but they're kind of annoying if you ask me. Well, there you go, the Holy Grail, guys. Not just one, but two. Look at that. So I have found the Holy Grail of cards, and not just one of them, I have found two of them, and they're a little off-centered, but I can now retire and no longer have to work for the rest of my life because I have two Piedmont Honus Wagner cards. Okay, not really. You can clearly say it says reprint on the back of these, so, but still, wasn't expecting to pull these out of the box. So we got a stack of Sandlot cards. We got three of them here. We got Squints, we got Timmy Timmons, and we got Grover Weeks, or Bertram Grover. And here randomly is a Japanese card, a couple more, another Japanese Hall of Famer if I'm not mistaken. And Charlie's Angels, why not? I know I've seen people get these signed on the channel before. Bionic Woman, Grease, John Travolta. And then there's a whole stack of the baseball stickers, you know, the cannon fodder of every Fleer card ever made in the 1980s and 90s. And you can see there's a lot of them here. So we're just going to stick these off to the side. And we're just going to leaf through these, and these are all baseball stickers, unless I see something that really just jumps out. There's a Colin Powell card. I actually have that autographed by him. There's some football umpires. Rainforest, Star Trek. Oh, here we go. I'm a big Alf fan, just FYI. Growing up in the 80s was one of my favorite shows. So here is Alabama, Alf. Arizona Alf, Louisiana Alf, and Missouri Alf. There we go, my home state. And let's not forget New York Alf. More umpires. More umpires. And here we have a whole stack of Godwin champions. And I think this whole row is just Allen and Ginter's and Goodwin. I'm sorry, not Godwin. There's Danny Glover. You know, all the non-sport or less, Joe Buck. You know, the non-baseball Ginters. There's Mark Spitz, the Olympian. Some more presidential cards. Kennedy throwing out first pitch. Presidents. More Goodwin champions. So these are all Goodwin champions. Or Allen and Ginter. Various sports. And here we got a whole stack of boxing cards. So KO boxing. There's Muhammad Ali. Hector Camacho, Michael Spinks. The all-world boxing cards here. Some all-time greats for sure. So there's some boxing cards shoved in here. Alright, we'll get to this final row and we'll wrap up this video. Alright, we have some Kiss cards, more Rocketeer, Bazooka Joe, Soccer, Marion Jones, more umpires. We don't have enough of those in here already. Tons of umpires. Rob Manfred, the commissioner, gets booed off the stage during the draft and everything else he does. Some more Coca-Cola cards. Right. More, oh, those reflect really bad. So, Coke cards, I don't know if anybody collects those or are interested, let me know. More rock cards. Terminator 2. Lots of Terminator 2. More rock cards. Classic Yo MTV Raps. So a lot of non-sport stuff in this row. I'm just gonna shuffle through these. More rock. Got a pack of something here. A pack of Looney Tunes comic ball. Still sealed. Eleanor Engel. 8 Men Out. Charlie Sheen. If I ever saw Charlie Sheen, there you go. Guitar Hero. What was this? Power Rangers Power Coin Pack. That's interesting. From McDonald's. Tina Turner, rest in peace. One of the queens of rock. More umpires. Baby. Remember that movie? About the baby dinosaur. Forgot about that movie. Got here. I Love Lucy. So that goes with the Wizard of Oz concept, I guess, from old school Americana. Not really sure what that is. Mortal Kombat. There we go. Some Mortal Kombat cards. More Desert Storm. Alright, so I'm going to wrap this video up, I think. Pamela Anderson. Not really sure. Oh, Back to the Future. Wow. Some Back to the Future cards. Very neat. Back to the Future 2, it looks like. Yep. Golf. More golf. There we go. Show you those. So these are Winter League baseball cards. Geronimo Baroa. It's a pretty good one. So, there's some more Japanese. There's some tennis. That's an original of 58 tops. Wow. So, some more overseas winter ball cards. So, in closing, I mean, there's some original 50s cards in here. I mean, this Joe Torre, Hall of Famer, game card. Not a lot of baseball, but these oddball baseball cards are kind of neat to add to the collection. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. And I still can't believe. Look what I found. Tell me what you think about the pickups. And as always, happy collecting.